Well, we're in full election mode here, this side of the Atlantic, but it's like they are already in the United States. Let's go there now. And Donald Trump says he's going to appeal his criminal conviction for falsifying business records, lashing out at what he calls a scam verdict.
Yeah, he was talking at Trump Tower in New York, and he said there was no hush money. It was a normal non-disclosure agreement, properly categorised as a legal expense.
I'm doing something for this country, and I'm doing something for our Constitution. It's very important, far beyond me. And this can't be allowed to happen to other presidents. It should never be allowed to happen in the future. But this is far beyond me. This is bigger than Trump. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than my presidency.
Well, this all happens now as the former Prime Minister of this country, Boris Johnson, has come out in support of Trump, claiming that his conviction was a liberal hit job.
Well, let's talk to former White House advisor to President Trump, Sebastian Gorka, who joins us now. Morning to you, Sebastian. What are you to make of this? I mean, the man has been convicted by a jury of his peers.
So what? Do courts make mistakes? Do juries make mistakes? How many convicts in the UK were found to be innocent years or even decades later? This is a stitch up. This is an absolute frame job. The crime, alleged crime, occurred 7 years ago, which is beyond the statute of limitations. And it's not hush money, it's a non-disclosure agreement. I signed a non-disclosure agreement with President Trump when I became his advisor back in 2015. Not only that, they tried to turn what is a misdemeanor into some kind of election felony with a miscategorization allegation for a business expense. Now, the really outrageous aspect is, when was that business expense entered into the books of the private company that is the Trump organization? In January after the election in 2017. So we have this absurd Python-esque allegation that somehow there was election fraud occurring 3 months after the election ended. The only reason this is occurring, we know very well, is because the president is the leader of the opposition and he's currently trouncing the incumbent, Joe Biden, in every poll out there. And this is the only way they think they can stop him.
Do these convictions then make him a stronger or weaker candidate for the presidency?
Well, if you just look at the metrics in the last 24 hours, it's quite stunning. The president's webpage crashed for 4 hours after the verdict yesterday with a number of people who were donating. In the last 24 hours, it's $54 million. It was averaging $2 million an hour, with the latest estimates, 30% of those donors being Democrats who said, I've had it. This is an outrage. My party is using the courts as a political weapon. So, you know, it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi at the end of the original Star Wars when he says to Darth Vader, if you strike me down, I will be stronger than you can ever imagine. Right now, President Trump, my former boss, is stronger than he has ever been since he came down those golden escalators in 2015 in Trump Tower.
Yeah, but right, you might, quite where you get the statistic from that 30% of the donations were from Democrats.
The front page of the Daily Mail.
Right, well, that doesn't necessarily make it right, does it? But the point is, others got to be concerned that it's those floating voters, the swing voters in swing states, who quite simply may not like the idea of someone in the White House with a criminal conviction. It's that seed of doubt.
Well, yeah, bogus criminal conviction. But let's again look at the facts. President Trump went to New Jersey 10 days ago. Now, New Jersey is not Texas. It is a deep, deep Democrat state. What happened in New Jersey? 100,000 people, mostly working class, came to his rally. Now, I've been to many Trump rallies in the last 8 years. There's never been one with 100,000 people. He went to Harlem after one of the days in court, and a little black kid, a 10-year-old kid, started the chant, "We love you, Trump." The little Hispanic girl behind him picked it up, and then all the adults in Harlem, not exactly MAGA country, started chanting, "We love you, Trump." So, yeah, we're going to win this with the independents, with the people in the middle, the undecideds, and the Democrats who've just had it with, you know, petrol trebling in costs, 8 million illegals in 3 years, mortgages doubling. This isn't just about politics and stitch-up jobs. This is the disaster that has been the Biden administration.
But it's interesting. You quote rallies where he's been and cheered and, you know, children cheering him on. He also turned up to a rally this week where he was booed and the chant was "lock him up."
Well, no, that's fake news.
It's not fake news. It isn't. No, it isn't, Sebastian. It was the Libertarian rally at the Washington Hilton, and we've all seen the footage.
I live in Washington, D.C. You don't. They were saying, shut the Fed down, not lock him up, because it's the Libertarian convention and they hate the Federal Reserve. So please don't fall for the fake news conventional wisdoms. You know, this is Washington, D.C., where I live. My colleague was in the room. You weren't. And it's the Libertarian convention.
What? But so he wasn't being booed either, was he?
No, there were some Robert Kennedy Jr. supporters there who heckled him because, of course, Robert Kennedy Jr. wants to be the president as well. But they were calmed down, and afterwards everything was copacetic.
Let me ask you the question, which is there on the screen, actually, in front of us, because whatever, however you call them, whether they're sham or bogus, these convictions are there. Will he end up going to prison?
Well, we shall see how stupid the Democrats are if they want to make a martyr of him, if they want to make it a 49-state blowout like it was for against the Mondale in '84. Then they'll try and do that. But it's a little bit complicated because he is the 45th president of the United States, which means his physical security is secured 24 hours a day by a Secret Service detail that carries automatic weapons and wears body armor. So how you secure him when he is meant to go to prison is a rather thorny issue, which in practice may not be possible. And they may say, oh, okay, well, you're under house arrest at your massive estate in Florida. But we'll see how crazed and hate-filled the Democrats are.
OK, Sebastian, we'll leave it there. Good to talk to you this morning.